forward. And here we go. All right, I see a couple people are just joining, so I want to make sure everybody's on before we get started. It looks like there's one person on with iPhone is all it says. If you've got a camera, you can turn it on, but you don't certainly don't have to. Let's see. I think that's it for now. So we'll just keep an eye on that. You know what? I did not end up copying that thing that we were supposed to have them sign in the chat.
I've got it. I will take care of it, Miss Buck.
Oh, thank you very much. I just remembered that because we were just going to have them sign up in the chat. I forgot about the thing. So if you are joining us right now, we are taking attendance for this. So if you could wait for the chat to come on. Oh, Miss Foley just posted it. So if you will just click on, it's a Google form and you can sign in that way. And that way we can take attendance to see who showed up tonight. And we do appreciate you guys coming. So I am Mrs. Buck, and this is the rest of my wonderful team, and we're all going to introduce ourselves in just a minute. So I'm going to pull up our presentation. Tonight's meeting is mostly about just kind of the school year, the expectations in curriculum and behavior and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to have a lot of time for questions and answers, and it's not like, ask about your specific child night. We will have conferences for that later. But we're just going to try to answer as many questions as possible by going through each slide. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And that way we can get started. Oh, it's been a while since I shared my screen. All right, see if I can remember. All right, so hopefully you guys are all looking at the pencils with the Forest Hills. Yep, all righty. So let me make it big. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows who each of us are, because we've met a lot of you at our open house because it was a really successful night, but not everybody was able to make it. So you may or may not know who everybody is. I am Mrs. Buck. This is my 10th year teaching, and I'm excited to be here at Forest Hills for my second year teaching kindergarten. I am the mother of 2 teenage boys that both go to Hoggard this year. And my husband and I just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary. We've been together since high school, so it's been a lot of fun. We just moved down here from Northern Virginia to be close to family. And I love some coffee and some popcorn, so that's what we do in the classroom, the popcorn for the kids and the coffee for me. So if you ever need to reach me, I have my contact information here. It's the school phone number, and then I also have a website that you're welcome to look at. I update it every week. So let's go on to our next friend, Miss Coleman. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jenny Coleman. This is my 8th year of teaching. I actually was raised in Wilmington. I went to Laney Go Bucks, and then I went to ECU as a teaching fellow. I finally got back to Wilmington, which is where I've been trying to get pretty much my whole career. So this is only my second year in town, but I'm really excited to be here with everybody. I love hanging out with my cats, Neelix and Aowen, and reading and teaching kindergarten. My contact information is also on here, my email and the school phone number. The best way to reach me though is Class Dojo.
Absolutely. Thanks, Miss Coleman.
Yeah.
And Miss Laura is another kindergarten teacher on our team.
Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Laura. This is year 6 in the classroom for me. This is my 3rd year teaching kindergarten, 2nd year teaching kindergarten here at Forest Hills. I also enjoy coffee. I'm part of the Teachers Love Coffee Club. And I like watching sports. I like going to the beach. I like being outside. I like to be doing something. That's a little bit about me.
All right. And next up, we have Miss Daria.
That's me. Hey guys, I'm Miss Daria. It's so nice to have y'all on our Zoom tonight. A little bit about me is this is my 2nd year teaching. I graduated from UNCW, Watson College of Education. And so I'm very excited for this year. With all the experience that last year brought, this year has come with a bunch of curveballs itself. So we're in it together. As I say, together we can conquer it all. But some things I like to do outside of school is I second Miss Laura. I like to spend some time outside, whether it's at the beach, riding my bike, or hanging with my family and friends. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, and Miss Toes.
Hey everybody, my name is Trisha Toes, and this will be my second year at Forest Hills Global. My first year, I was an interventionist at Wrightsboro Elementary. And a little bit about me, I am about to hit my 1 year of marriage. So I just got married last year to my husband. And I have a sweet 6-year-old son that also goes here. So he definitely keeps me on my toes. And then what I like to do, I love to play pool. That's actually one of my biggest hobbies. And I love just to be out on the beach or the boat, enjoying the sunshine. And then I also have my contact information and my website.
All right, so that's us. Oh, difference. Okay. All right, so we do want to kind of go over communication. We mentioned before that you can call the school. We are often too busy to talk on the phone, though, I will warn you. So it's not the best way to reach us during the day. We do check Class Dojo at least once a day, not necessarily during the school day, but if you do want to send us a message, usually we will see that. And if you need to reach us after, you can also do email. We do ask that you give us some time to reply because sometimes we are busy with our own families or busy in the classroom and we may not answer your email or dojo right away. So if you'd want to give us 24 hours to reply, we will usually reply before that, but sometimes, especially on weekends, I know I try not to check so that I can spend time with my family. Here we have all of our email addresses as well as the extensions to our phones to the classroom. If you need to reach us in an emergency only, please. And the next screen talks about the school uniforms. And it's really nice to see all of our kindergartners this year walking in, looking really sharp in their khakis and their nice polo shirts. So just keep sending them in, wearing those solid color polos with the button down or turtleneck. I would recommend also maybe sending in a sweater if you've got one so that they can kind of keep it in the classroom because sometimes we do get a little chilly. And a lot of them are tucking their arms inside their shirts these days because we've got the air conditioner kicking. If you could also send in an extra pair of uniform clothes so that we can take care of any accidents, spills, anything like that. And we'll keep it here with us so that if they need to change, we've got it at our fingertips. The next screen talks about our peak at the week. This is kind of takes the place of our newsletter. It is mostly curriculum so that you can kind of stay abreast of what we are teaching week to week. We've been posting these on our class websites every week on Sunday night so that you can check and see. We've got kind of upcoming dates. We've got some key terms that you can help go over with your kids at home. We link the standards and we also put, just a blurb about what we're teaching in each area of the day. You can find our newsletter tab at the top of our website. So if you go through the Forest Hills website, you'll be able to find it really easily. And ways that you can help us at home. We are not really focusing on homework at this time because we don't believe that, after a long day at school, we really don't want to send extra work home. But we would like you to work on a few things with them at home at this time, which is pencil grip, kind of sticking with us so that we reinforce that good posture while they're sitting and that they're pinching the pencil. And we call it pinch and flip and rest. And they make sure they're holding it down near the tip of the pencil and using the lines as they're writing. And then another thing that we don't have time to teach at school is tying shoes, and we end up tying a lot. So if you can help your child at home learn how to do that, that would really save us some time in the classroom. We appreciate it. And then my huge thing is read anything. Read to these kids every day because every time you read to them, they are exposed to vocabulary. They're using their minds. They absolutely love it. It's a special time that you can have with your child. So it's the best thing you can do right now is read to your kids. And this year, unfortunately, we are still dealing with a pandemic. And so a big thing that we have to push in the classroom is proper mask wearing. It wouldn't hurt to send in an extra mask because a lot of our kindergartners end up chewing on them or spilling on them or dropping them in the trash by accident. So sometimes it would be nice to have a clean spare. Make sure that they fit them properly. We have a lot of kids that they kind of hang off the ears, and we're constantly telling them to pull them up, pull them up, pull them up, because we do want to make sure this year that we are following these protocols so that we can keep your kids in school. We love having your kids in the classroom. We wear our masks all day too, covering our nose and mouth. The only time we remove them is during lunch and snack and a quick sip of water. But we are all very diligent about making sure the kids are staying as far apart as possible, keeping their masks on. So we'd appreciate your support at home and making sure that you're practicing this at home too. And thank you for not sending your children into school with any kind of symptoms that you have not had checked by a doctor. If your child has anything like a cough or a sore throat or a severe headache, they've got a fever, certainly, you probably are not going to want to send them to school, because chances are we'll send them right back home. We need to be very cautious right now. So if you are able to get to the doctor and you get a negative test result back, then they will be allowed to come back to school. And we don't have to quarantine children in the classroom if they are wearing their masks properly and doing their part. So if you can also talk to your kids about keeping those masks on, you will have less of a chance of having to quarantine them at home. And up next, we have arrival and dismissal. Is this someone else's slide, or this is me, I believe? I'm gonna keep going.
This is me, Ms. Buck.
Oh, you go then, Tanya. Miss Laura, thank you.
You're welcome. I am going to talk to you about arrival and dismissal. Our arrival starts at 7:20, and we would like all of our students to be in the classroom ready to learn at 7:50 a.m. For transportation changes, we do need it in writing. If it gets sent in their blue folder, we would need a note that has their name, our name, their normal mode of transportation, and also the way they are going home and for how long. If there's not enough and there's still some questions, someone from the front office, most likely Miss Parrott or Miss Lance, will be reaching out to you. So just an FYI, if you send in a note and we need a little more information about how they're getting home, how they normally get home, we might call you to double check that. If you would like to send it via email, that's also okay. You can email info.foresthills@nhcs.net. We cannot take them after 1 p.m. And the other thing that I wanted to put out there for you guys to know is that we cannot take transportation changes via Dojo. They must be done either in writing with a paper note in the folder that the teachers ourselves can enter in at school during the day, or it must be emailed to that info.foresthills@nhcs.net. When you pick up your students, you must have a picture ID ready to be able to take them with you. This is just to keep them as safe as possible. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the bus app. It's called the EduLog Parent Portal Lite. I always say it wrong, so I'm very sorry. And our school code for Forest Hills is 7787800304. And then you can follow this link here to get more information. It helps you know where the bus is, that kind of thing. You can track your bus. And if you have patience with the buses, we would really appreciate it. We are doing the best we can. New students are being added. And as those new students are added, the routes are adjusted. And it does take the bus drivers a few days to get adjusted as well. Go ahead, Ms. Buck, next slide. The next thing I'm going to touch on is breakfast, lunch, and snack. Breakfast is every morning, and from 7:20 to 7:50, it is free to all students. All students also have access to a free lunch from the cafeteria. As of right now, all of our classes in kindergarten are eating in the classroom. If there would be a food allergy that would come up, we would then take that class only to the cafeteria to make sure that there's enough room to social distance. We all rotate. We're staggered. I'm sorry, we don't rotate. We're staggered by 5 minutes for lunch. And our lunch times begin between 10:30 and 11 on that staggered schedule. For snack, we do have a snack time. So if you would like your child to have a snack, we just ask that it be a healthy snack. So try and avoid those candies, cookies, anything that needs silverware or juice, and a reusable water bottle with them every day. We do not have water fountains this year that they can drink out of. So if they don't have a bottle, it does make it difficult for them to have access to those water fountains. We have snack at 12:45, and if Miss Buck goes to the next slide, I can talk a little bit more about snack. So we have what's called a working snack. So that we can maximize instructional time, we have the children eat snack while they're working during the day. So that's why we are thinking about a quick snack that they can pick with their fingers and pick with one hand and write with the pencil with the other while they're working. It's less messy. We're trying to stay away from foods that require silverware, like I said, juices and Gatorades, because if those spill, we do have other materials on the table and we would like to preserve those as best as we can. So having water only would be the best way to preserve those. This is our daily schedule. So as you can see, we are very full here in kindergarten land. We keep these kiddos busy all day. All of this is here for you. The thing that I wanted to touch on with the snack is if you see our math block runs from 11:25 to 12:40, but we eat that working snack for those last 10 minutes from 12:30 to 12:40. So a lot of times we're using manipulatives. We have other materials out. The kiddos might be coloring. They might be using pencils, something other than just eating. So it's not that we have a time set aside specifically for snack only. We do try and maximize our time with the students. Our dismissal begins at 2:30. Just wanted to plug that in for you as well. And our specials are over here on the right side of your screen. We have one special each day: art, music, library, PE, or guidance. And our classes all rotate. Your child goes to them once per week, but we go to a different one each day.
Yep, and this is where we can let Miss Snow introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I am Kathy Snow, and I am the music teacher here at Forest Hills. And before I even tell you anything about specials, you all, if you're on here, have an awesome kindergarten team. I love them all so much. And the energy I've taught in a lot of places, I've never seen anything like these kindergarten teachers. And I wish I was as young as they all are. But we love you. I love you guys. But I just to give you a little background about myself, I am from Kentucky, but I have taught 16 years in the public school system. And this is my second year at Forest Hills. I actually I own Snow Productions, which is a musical theater company here in town. And I decided during COVID to come back and teach. And so I just love the energy at our school. And I think we have so much to offer. Honestly, one of the weaknesses that I, as a music teacher, have dealt with is that we can't perform a lot yet. And I love to perform. And so my favorite thing to do in the world, and all these ladies will tell you, I love to decorate. And so our whole music area is really cool. Right now we're studying Madagascar and the music, not only from that culture, but also from the movie, and they love it. We did drums all this week. We're doing drums with all the kids and dances and just having so much fun. And so I am always here. I am very quick also to reach out to you or you to me if you have any questions about anything. I only get them once a week, and that's kind of sad for me because it's hard to know all of them individually, but I just go with the role. That I have a lot of energy, and I love to see these kids up on stage. And so thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you. And hopefully within a short amount of time, we will be able to see our kids on our stage at Forest Hills, because we have a lot of talented kids here. And I look forward to seeing you at some of those performances.
Thank you so much, Ms. Snow. And our other specialists are just Lily Moselle is our art teacher, who's actually out on maternity leave right now. So she's had a great sub in for her, but she'll be back soon. And then we have our PE teacher, Coach D is what the kids call him, Mr. Daniello. And then we have our media center that comes in on a cart and talks to the kids about books and library and media. And then we also have guidance this year too, with some of our guidance counselors will come in and actually talk to the kids about feelings and emotions and things like that. And it's another great time for the kids. So I'll turn it back over to Miss Laura for the next slide.
I almost started talking without turning on my microphone. I'm a little rusty with my Zoom skills these days. Our mission here at Forest Hills, this is new this year. If any of you have siblings that are in the older grades, we have revamped our mission, and it is now Forest Hills Global is an inclusive community of lifelong learners who strive to model cooperation, empathy, and determination. Our vision is still explore the world, be the change, and our core values are Mustangs lead. We are the Mustangs, so Mustangs are leaders. They are leaders, empathetic, accountable, and determined. This is the expectation matrix that we use throughout the building, K through 5, to model and demonstrate and really explain to the students in all areas, from the bus to the cafeteria to the playground to the classroom to the hallway, what is expected of them and what it looks like to be a leader, empathetic, accountable, and determined.
All right, so I would like to talk with you about responsibilities. So the children are responsible for demonstrating appropriate behavior. That would be in the classroom, in the hallways, and on the bus. So we do talk to them daily about their the lead, which she just talked about, our matrix. We do dojo points, and so we do that for good behavior. And we also do incentives for those good behaviors. And so we want to thank you so much for reinforcing those expectations for those good behaviors at home as well. Our responsibilities on our end, we want to make sure that we have clear expectations in the classroom. We also want to make sure that, where'd it go? There we go. We want to make sure that our positive behavior interventions are in line. We want to have nonverbal and verbal interventions, and we want to apply consequences. And then also we want to make sure and notify the parents, of any undesired behaviors or even positive behaviors at that. All right, Foundations is what we use for phonics. So it is research-based, and it follows the principles of instruction. So we do this daily. It is a way for us to expose the children to these letter formations, phonemic and phonemic awareness, also sound mastery. It helps with fluency, vocabulary, comprehension studies, and much, much more. So right here, these are our foundations that we're doing by week. So each week we are introducing around 3 to 2 letters. So as you can see, week 1, we did T, B, and F. This week we are doing N and M. Next week we'll be starting with I and U. And so this is all of 12 weeks for our lowercase letters. And then right here, this can also help with letter recognition. So that's one thing that we're really trying to strive this year, is really getting our students to recognize the letters and when they're not in order. So that's really, so you can take this and really use this at home with your child and kind of quiz them daily, and that will really help with their letter recognition. Reading, we love to read in kindergarten, and one thing that we ask that you do is just every night sit with your child. We are not giving homework out right now, but one thing is that you can read with them. That is so important. It builds their vocabulary. Also, one thing when you're reading is you can ask questions and answer questions that with them. It really builds their knowledge base of what they can bring into the classroom because you did that at home with them. So practicing reading. Also, we have core words that we learn in kindergarten. And so if you can help write those words or practice those words, that will only help the students so much more whenever they really start that reading process. And so they should be able to read 100% of the core words. And then also RAS Kids is an amazing thing that you can use at home. And we'll be sending passwords in the second quarter. We just wanted to show you a word list of our core words that we'll be using. So here is what you can use at home. And if you practice these, it will, again, really help them with their reading.
Okay, so we're going to move on to NC Eli, which is North Carolina's early learning inventory. And so this is an observational based formative assessment that we will be completing on all of our students. And so not only is it focusing on our academic goals, but also the whole child. And so there are 5 domains of learning and development, which is cognition and general knowledge, approaches towards learning, literacy and language development, physical and well-being, as well as motor development and social emotional development. And so our progressions are listed below. And so we will be observing the students as well as completing NC Eli. It's coming up soon, and we will be doing all 14 progressions again a month's time to see their growth. So for our guided reading, I want you guys to see here that what our goals are for level A books, B books, and C and D as well. So whether it's reading from left to right, moving on to B would be interpreting details in the pictures, tracking print with eyes and solving new words independently at level C. And level D is moving on to solving new words and using knowledge of sound and letter recognition and word parts and self-correcting. So when we see that in children, our students, you'll see examples on your screen of level A, B, and C books. And so by December, we'll be working towards A level books. March will be B level. And then by May, at the end of the year, we'll be hopefully on C books. And so I just wanted you guys to take a look at the examples of the text there in the picture to see how it will progress over the year. So moving forward, we write a lot in kindergarten. I know some of you might think, well, my child doesn't even know how to spell or write their own name, but our writings start off with illustrations. And so illustrating is their way of writing right now. And so we're writing a lot throughout the day of many different subjects. And so we will be able to soon evolve into recognizing standard conventions of capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. And so by the end of kindergarten, we want all of our students to be writing these complete sentences, using a combination of drawing, dictating, and writing to compose their narrative, informational, and opinion text. So moving on to math. So math, we use Eureka as our math curriculum, but we always fall back to our North Carolina standards. So with our standards, we are using Eureka Math, which is taught using Singapore math strategies and lots of manipulatives and hands-on activities, so that not only are we teaching it, they are trying and practicing and really trying to solve these problems from themselves. And so we use a concrete pictorial abstract model. And so there are ongoing formal and informal assessments that will be implemented with our students to determine their level of mastery of specific standards. And so that we can always differentiate and meet the individual needs of students, how to challenge them, but also how to support them to continue to grow. So these are a couple of our math goals. I really want to highlight just by the end of kindergarten, they're going to read, write, and identify all the numbers 0 to 20. Also counting forward, beginning at any number. That's something you guys can do at home, starting at a random number and counting forward. And also counting to tell the number of objects in the set. And that's something we're working on in math now. So all of these will evolve over the rest of the school year. And I can't wait to see all of them grow in all the subject areas.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about science. Now, we are meeting STEM objectives through our science curriculum. We are following the North Carolina science standards. We will be using some programs like Mystery Science and Discovery Science that will really help bring science to life in the classroom. We are intending to support an interactive, student-focused approach to learning that's very inquiry-based. We want the kids to ask questions about their environment and about the things around them, and then find the answers themselves. We will be we're getting ready to start our Forces in Motion unit, but we will also have a matter unit, earth systems, structures and processes, and structures and functions of living organisms. So they're going to get a solid base in the main areas of science. Social studies has 4 different units. We've just about wrapped up the first one where we were learning what makes a good citizen. And we combined that with learning our rules and procedures for the classroom and why it's important to have rules and procedures so that everybody gets a turn to do things and everybody gets what they need. We'll also be looking at who am I? Here, there, and everywhere, and we want more. So the North Carolina standards are focused around history, geography and environmental literacy, economic and financial literacy, civics and government, and culture. And we will be exploring each of those domains in smaller areas as well. And of course, we are Forest Hills Global Elementary. So we are a global school, which means we're looking at being citizens of the world and not just of North Carolina or the United States. So many of our weekly themes will cover how these topics affect people around the globe, in addition to us here. Our country of study this year is North America, which includes United States, Canada, Mexico, Greenland, and Bermuda. Parent involvement. We would really appreciate sitting in supplies, especially things like hand sanitizer, antibacterial wipes, tissues, things that are consumable so we go through a lot of them quickly. We will have parent conferences twice a year, and we will share those dates and times through Class Dojo. And if you'd like to join the PTA, you can contact us, or you can go to the Forest Hills PTA on Facebook for more information about that. So for our first quarter, we focused on our routines and procedures. In foundations, we were looking at letter recognition and sounds. Can your child identify the name of the letter? Can they tell what sound it makes? What is a letter, a word, and a sentence? And how can we identify those? Reading and writing workshop. In math, numbers 0 to 5, both writing the numbers and counting. In social studies, citizenship, social emotional development, and change. And then push and pull and science safety for our science units. And if there are any questions, we are always willing to answer and talk to you. Just send us a message on Dojo or email.
Yeah, and so that kind of wraps us up. If there are any kind of questions that you have lingering, we are always available to answer them. And we will be reaching out to you in the month of October to set up some parent conferences. And that's when we'll be able to actually talk to you about your individual child and their academic kind of status and their behavior in the classroom, and set some goals for the school year so that we can have a successful year. So if that is it with us, then we'll just say good night. Thank you for joining us. And we are really enjoying having your kids here every day. They're sweet, they're wonderful, and we're just going to take them as far as we can this year. And with your help, we can take them even further. So thanks again for being here. Good night, everyone. All right, I think, let's see.
And you are still recording, Miss Buck, just to let you know.
Thank you.